Oh, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Life as a Chad YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. I found this fun article here. We're going to check it out together. Let's see where your boy, President Trump, is in the this updated presidential ranking list. Let's see how absolutely honest and completely lacking bias, fraudulent this article is. So here is this. By the way, guys, if you guys are not subscribed, smash that subscribe button at the very least. Like, comment, share. You guys know the drill. And without further ado, let's get into this. So this is from Fox News. New presidential rankings place Obama mama in top 10, Reagan and Trump below Biden. Color me stunned. Color me stunned. Wow. That's going to be my thumbnail. Wow. According to a release from the Presidential Greatness Project, see, this is the pure evil that exists in our society. The terminology, the phrasing, the verbiage that is used. See, they cloud it in a beautiful statement like Presidential Greatness Project. It must be authentic then. It says greatness. It says presidential. It says project. The 154 respondents to the survey included current and recent members of the president's and executive politics section of the American Political Science Association, which touts itself as the foremost organization of social science experts in presidential politics, as well as scholars who have recently published peer-reviewed academic research in key related scholarly journals or academic pressers. The respondents were asked to rank presidents on a scale of 0 to 100, with 0 being a failure. So being average and 100 being great. Rounding out the top 5 in the rankings were Franklin Delano Roosevelt at number 2, George Washington at 3, Theodore Roosevelt at 4, and Thomas Jefferson at 5. Trump was ranked in last place in the survey, being ranked worst. Trump was ranked last place in the survey, being ranked worse than James Buchanan at 44, Andrew Johnson at 42, Franklin Pierce at 42, and William Henry Harrison at 41. I'm stunned, aren't you? I am stunned. This is going to be the thumbnail. Or I mean, I knew that is just crazy, bro. As though they cannot totally manipulate the members in which belong to each populace that they included in the survey. All of these, they can always be manipulated, okay? Always. Respondents were also tracked by their political affiliation and ideology. Doesn't matter, which the release argues did not tend to make a major difference overall in the rankings, though there were some outliers, mainly with recent presidents. Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, and Trump were more likely to be ranked higher by conservatives or Republicans, with Reagan being ranked on average of 5th by Republicans respondents, Bush 19th and Trump 41st. Among Democrat respondents, Reagan was rated an average of 18th, Bush 33rd, and Trump 45th. A similar partisan divide was noticeable for Barack Hussein Obama and President Biden, who ranked on average of 6th and 13th. No way in fuck Obama or Biden are top 20, either of them. Either of them. Biden is easily. I mean, I don't want to be the classic Fox News but he almost fell asleep. Did you see him touch that girl? He sniffs girls' hairs. You see him take a snoozer there? I don't want to be that person, but he is an embarrassment. All jokes aside, he is a fucking embarrassment. The dude is barely more articulate than my 99-year-old grandma, okay? And he's the president of the United States, head of state. Bill Clinton, a Democrat, was ranked higher by Republican respondents, 10th, than was by Democrats, 12th. Huh. That's odd. Okay, so where the fuck is the list? I just want to see the list, bro. Do they not have the original link here? Here, let's see if we can find it. That's crazy, though. I mean, I'm not surprised. I knew this is the first time I was reading it, but I knew presidential ranking test before I even looked at it that this was going to be false. Is this it? Here it is. This is from the Hill. Must be good. But where the fuck is the list? I just want to see the list. I wouldn't be surprised if there is no list, that this is basically just a hit piece done to say that Trump is last. Oh, here it is. So this is Presidential Greatness Project. The 2024 Presidential Greatness Project expert survey was conducted online via Qualtrics from November 15th to December 31st, 2023. Respondents included current and recent members of the president's and executive politics section of the American Political Science Association, which is the foremost organization of social science experts in presidential politics. Okay, it doesn't matter. All of academia is completely biased, which, by the way, conservatives, we need to change that. Okay. That's our fault that we allowed them to totally take over the educational system. I blame Protestants, though. Published peer review academic research and in key related scholarly journals on academic presses. 525 respondents were invited to participate, and 155 usable responses were received. So that I cannot believe Biden is 14th. That's fucking crazy, dude. That's crazy. And Reagan at 16th, that's wow. Ford at 27th. See, this isn't right, dude. These people are fucking morons. There's just no way that Obama, Clinton, and Biden, hell, if being completely honest here, there's no way that even George H.W. is top 20. Honestly, I don't think any four of them are top 20. George W., I would probably have all of them around the same, which is in the 30 to 40 range is where I would have them. That's crazy, though. Man, it just shows the bias that exists. So, anyways, there's that poll for what it's worth, guys. I really just think it's just a hit piece done to um, just to put out there against Trump. I mean, if you don't think that the elites have money to conduct a survey like this and totally orchestrate and manipulate it to be just another piece of literature that's against Trump, you got another thing coming. I mean, that's 100% what it was. The last thing I want to talk about today, this is from Ann Coulter. I don't give too I don't really care too much about this in general because there's just so little that we can actually do about it. But so she writes, impeach him again. The crisis at the border is the number one issue with voters, and it's killing the Democrats. I mean, so let me rephrase. It's a very important issue. It's just from person to person, there's not much that we can do aside from voting and protesting. I mean, if done correctly, a lot can be done, but you're just not going to find very many conservatives who are going to take the time to have that type of social change needed in such a short time span. And honestly, this is not an issue that is just the Democrats' fault. Republicans are just as guilty with illegal immigrations as Democrats are. The crisis at the border is the number one issue with voters, and it's killing the Democrats. To my surprise, my party, the stupid party, has done something smart, which Fox News tried to talk them out of. They forced Democrats to vote on the impeachment of the man orchestrating the invasion, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The Democrats know that if they don't shift the blame for President Biden's immigration policies to the GOP, they could get slaughtered this fall. They might even get Trump reelected. Their plan: work with open borders, amnesty supporting Republicans to concoct an immigration deal that's way worse than what we have now. If Republicans are fool enough, you're a fool. You're just a damn fool. To vote for it, then they own the border crisis. That's true. I do agree with that. If Republicans are fool enough to vote for it, then they own the border crisis. That's true. And Republicans do bear a ton of responsibility about it. And if they reject it, the media will never stop telling us that it was a fantastic bill. It would have totally shut down illegal immigration, but Republicans rejected it for churlish reasons. Churlish. They rejected it for churlish reasons. The most cursory glance at the immigration deal shows that it would do absolutely nothing to protect the border and a lot to make things worse. One example of many, the deal expressly provides for up to 5,000 illegals to come into our country every day. That's 2 million a year, or about twice as many as under Presidents Bush and Obama. Biden can admit more, but that's the bare minimum of illegals to be admitted. It's as if Senate negotiators were playing a trick to see how many members of Congress actually read the bill. Republicans seem poised to reject this monstrosity. But keeping bad things from happening is a pretty low bar. Very true. Insurmountably only by Senator James Lankford and Fox News. It's when we get to the moving the ball forward step that the GOP usually chokes. Impeaching Mayorkas would have moved the ball forward. Unfortunately, his impeachment was blocked this week by three cretinous House Republicans: Ken Buck of Colorado, Mike Gallagher of Wisconsin, and Tom McClintock of California. What? Wow. You can get some Republicans not to step on a rake all the time, and all Republicans not to step on a rake some of the time, but you can't get all Republicans not to step on a rake all the time. Fortunately, a vote on Mayorkas' impeachment can be brought up again. And if Republicans aren't trying to lose, it should be over and over and over again. See, the problem with this is The problem that I have with this is overall, way back when it was time to put forth the chairman or whatever the fuck it's called, and it was the guy from California, which is why I guarantee McClintock voted against this bill. He said, I'm blanking on his name. Let me see what his name is. Uh GOP leader removed. Let's see what his name is again. What the fuck? Kevin McCarthy. And Kevin McCarthy said that one of the things that they were going to do was impeach Biden. Now, Ann Coulter is right. Republicans never have the balls to actually fulfill promises stated on that went towards them getting elected. They rarely hold steadfast to those promises that they promised their voting base. And so there was a committee in the Republican Party that said, fuck it, let's get Kevin McCarthy out of here. He's not doing what he promised, and all he's doing is working with Democrats. So they end up doing this, which isn't like a bad thing. But it's still a win for the Democrats because the original thing that the Democrats knew Republicans were promising that they were going to do is try to impeach Biden, and for just cause. And they didn't do that. So in a way, while this is not terrible and at least they're doing something, I still have to hold them accountable because they didn't go after Biden. And for that reason, this is still very much a win for the Republicans. And this is what always fucking happens with Republican leaders. They promise this, then they divert expectations, like we see from the MCU, like the Marvel universe and shit like that. They tamper expectations so that when the actual product comes out, people are like, well, it's not that bad. It's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. That's exactly what happens. And it sucks. That's classic Republican Party bullshit. It's yeah, that I always hear that from Nerdrotic and about the MCU and the Marvel universe, that they always temper expectations or whatever it is. I have to find what the actual verbiage of it is, but so let's see here. Fortunately, a vote on Mayorkas and Peebles can be brought up again, and if Republicans aren't trying to lose, it should be over and over again. The only way to lay the blame for the immigration Armageddon at Democrats' feet where it belongs is to make them vote on Mayorkas impeachment. You always forget this, Republicans, but you don't have the media. Biden keeps claiming he's dying to enforce the border. If only Congress could pass a law giving him the tools to do so. You're probably asking yourself, didn't it ever occur to any previous Congress to give the president authority to stop illegals at our border? Why, yes, it did. In fact, the law requires that the president detain illegals at the border, even the beloved asylum applicants. None of the migrants Biden is admitting have a credible fear of persecution, the requirement for asylum. Not one. They're coming here for the welfare and criminal opportunities after having wrecked their own countries. But even those found to have credible fear of persecution must be detained until their cases have been fully adjudicated. Under written federal law, no illegals should be getting in. These are laws on the books that have been banged out by Republicans and Democrats negotiating over generations of Congresses and signed into law by presidents of both parties. Mayorkas is openly breaking the law. But again, he's doing it on behalf of Biden, though. That's the whole thing. And so, getting rid of Mayorkas, it's like you get rid of one evil, but the main evil is still there, and they'll just slide another babbling fool there to carry out their will, and that'll be that. If it's not Mayorkas, it'll be somebody else, because you're not taking off the head of the snake. Democrats claim that Republicans are trying to impeach Mayorkas over a mere policy dispute, not high crimes and misdemeanors. This is like saying Dylan Roof had a policy dispute with the state of South Carolina about its murder laws. Roof thought he should be allowed to gun down defensive black people in a church, but the state disagreed. See, policy dispute. The point is to do what I've been begging Republicans to do since they won a majority in the House, force Democrats to cast unpopular votes. We have an important election in 10 months. There are half a dozen Senate Democrats in vulnerable seats. And so far, they've been able to avoid saying anything about their party's worst issue. Do Democrats care that millions of criminal, terrorists, and needy illegal immigrants are streaming into our country? Who knows? Make them vote. Mayorkas is entirely responsible for the invasion. Will Democrats vote to keep him in office? How about Senators Sherrod Brown, Kristen Sinema, Bob Casey, Jack Rosen, and Tammy Baldwin, all up for re-election in conservative or semi-conservative states? Could you at least put them in a difficult position, Republicans? If the House impeaches, Senate Democrats will be required to express an opinion. Either they vote to remove Mayorkas or they admit they don't give a crap about our wide open border. That's a gift to every Republican running for office this year. I do agree that the main issue that Trump was able to win, and he ended up wrapping this in a nice little bow around America First ideology, is immigration. That was the main gift in the basket that was America First. And many Americans care a whole lot about it. I do. It's a big fucking problem. It's a huge problem. But like I said, as for this particular issue, they should have went after Biden. That is who they should have went after, because Mayorkas is just a puppet for Biden and this administration. That's all he is. They'll just get another guy in there to carry out the will of Biden. But the thing is that as conservatives, we need to hold our constituency to the promises that they make. And if we don't, well, then they're going to continue to treat us like jerk-offs. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section about Ann's article. I thought it was an interesting article. She still drops some heat. She still drops some dimers, some bangers. She does her best. Anyways, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. You guys know the drill. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy will on facts or feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you, kings. See you guys next time. Christ is king. Peace.